Have you ever wondered if, ancient wisdom actually connects to your life now? What if some text, over 2,000 years old, had real practical tips on what's good and bad, and maybe even showed a way to genuine understanding? Welcome to the deep dive. We unpack complex stuff and give you the core insights. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating ancient text, the Mahāvacchagottasuttaṃ. It's basically a record of this key conversation between a seeker named Vacchagotta and Bhagavan. So our mission today is to look at Bhagavan's, pretty straightforward definitions of wholesome and unwholesome actions, and also understand just how many of his followers actually succeeded in the path. It's kind of surprising. Then we'll get into Vacchagotta's own journey. It's quite a story of rapid change, leading to these incredible insights, sometimes called higher knowledges. We think this ancient dialogue offers a really unique angle on, personal growth and what wisdom truly means. Okay, so let's get into it. The scene starts with Vacchagotta, this wanderer, finding Bhagavan. And he doesn't waste any time. He asks a very direct question. Could you teach me briefly about wholesome and unwholesome? Why do you think he jumps straight to that? So direct.
It is remarkably direct, isn't it? It suggests he's not looking for philosophy, but something really fundamental and practical. He wants clarity. And Bhagavan's first answer is just as concise. He nails it down to three core unwholesome states: greed, hatred, and delusion. Lobha, dosa, moha. But what's really neat is, for each one, he immediately gives the wholesome opposite: non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion, alobha, adosa, amoha. So it's not just don't do this, but also do cultivate this.
Right, so it's about the roots in the mind, the things driving our actions. But he expands on that, doesn't he? He gives a list of 10 specific actions and their opposites. How do those roots actually, show up?
Yeah, he breaks it down really clearly. Bodily actions,
Yeah.
killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. The wholesome side is naturally abstaining from those. Then verbal actions: lying, slander, harsh words, idle chatter. Again, the wholesome part is refraining. And then mental actions: coveting things, ill will towards others, and holding wrong views. The opposites are non-covetousness, non-ill will, and right view. It really covers the whole spectrum.
So, thinking about good and bad, this goes way beyond just following rules, right? I mean, today with social media and everything, how does this idea of, say, greed or delusion apply beyond just trying to be nice online?
That's a really good point. It makes you look at the why behind the action, the mental root cause. It suggests that being ethical isn't just about following external rules. It's about actively cultivating these positive mental states. Like you said, idle chatter online today, if it comes from delusion, wanting attention, whatever, it's not just wasting time. It could be spreading negativity. Understanding these three roots gives you a much deeper sort of ethical compass, which naturally leads to the question, okay, if this stuff is so important, how many people actually manage to live this way? Does it actually work for people?
Yeah, exactly. And Vacchagotta asks that too. He keeps asking, is there even one person in different groups of followers who's reached full liberation? He asks about monks, then nuns, then lay followers, both celibate and those, living more regular lives. He's basically testing the system. Does this actually work for lots of different people?
And Bhagavan's answer is, honestly, kind of stunning. Every single time, he says, not just 100 Vacchagotta, not 200, but more than that. He repeats this for monks, nuns, celibate lay followers who are non-returners.
Non-returners. What does that mean exactly?
It means they've reached a stage where they won't be reborn in lower realms. They're guaranteed to reach full liberation eventually.
Okay, got it.
And he even says this about lay followers, men and women, who still enjoy sensual pleasures, family life, but are obedient to the teachings, free from doubt, fearless. Hundreds, even thousands, apparently.
Wow, that is impactful. It's not just an elite few monks off in a cave somewhere. It's showing that deep liberation is possible for, a huge range of people, including householders living normal lives. So what does Vacchagotta make of this? He realizes the holy life is complete. What's the significance there?
It's like a massive validation for him.
Yeah.
He sees this isn't just theory, it's not exclusive. It actually works widely and reliably. And then he uses this really beautiful analogy. He says Bhagavan's whole community, monks and lay people together, is like the river Ganga. It just naturally flows and slopes down towards the ocean, towards nibbana, liberation.
That's a powerful image.
It really is. It shows the path has this undeniable direction, this momentum, pulling everyone who engages with it towards that ultimate goal. It speaks volumes about the teaching's power.
And Vacchagotta himself, hearing all this, he's clearly moved deeply. He immediately takes refuge, commits to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and asks to be ordained right then and there.
Yeah, he's all in. And this next bit is really interesting. Bhagavan mentions that normally people coming from other traditions have to do a 4-month probation before full ordination. But Vacchagotta is so keen, he says, I'll wait 4 years. He's that committed.
4 years.
Right. But Bhagavan sees his readiness, his conviction, and ordains him immediately, both the initial and the higher ordination.
Wow, so no waiting period at all. What does that tell us?
I think it shows Bhagavan recognized something profound in Vacchagotta's state of mind, that his internal readiness trumped any standard rule or time frame.
Incredible speed, and it continues, right. The Sutta says just half a month later, like 2 weeks, he goes back to Bhagavan. He's already achieved what a trainee can achieve, someone still learning but making real progress, and he wants more.
He's clearly a fast learner. And Bhagavan's instruction then is very specific. Cultivate serenity, samatha, and insight, vipassana. These 2 qualities, Bhagavan says, are the key. They lead to the penetration of various elements.
Okay, serenity and insight. And this leads to the higher knowledges, the abhiññā.
Exactly. This is where it gets, well, quite extraordinary. Bhagavan describes 6 types of higher knowledge that can be developed through serenity and insight. These are described as witness-worthy attainments. The first one is usually translated as psychic powers.
Psychic powers? Like what?
The text is very vivid. It talks about being able to, like, appear in multiple forms, walk through walls, dive into the earth as if it were water, walk on water, fly through the air, touching the sun and moon, even traveling to heavenly realms like the Brahma world.
Okay, that sounds pretty out there. How should we understand these? Are they meant literally, or is it more metaphorical for mental mastery?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Interpretations vary. Some traditions take them quite literally as powers unlocked by extreme mental concentration and insight. Others see them more as perhaps symbolic representations of a mind so liberated it transcends ordinary perceived limitations. A mind that, isn't bound by conventional reality in the same way. Either way, they point to a truly immense potential within human consciousness unlocked through this path.
Okay. So beyond those very physical-sounding abilities, what else?
The second is the divine ear sounds both divine and human, far beyond normal range. Third is knowing others' minds. Being able to directly perceive the mental state of another person if they have greed, hatred, delusion, or not, if their mind is focused, scattered, developed, undeveloped, and so on. Real deep insight into others.
That's incredible, like reading minds, basically. What about seeing through time?
Well, the fourth is recollection of past lives. Remembering one's own previous existences in detail, names, families, experiences, lifespans, how you passed from one life to the next. Countless lives, potentially.
Wow. And the fifth?
The fifth is the divine eye, or the knowledge of the death and rebirth of beings. Seeing how beings pass away and reappear according to their actions, their karma. Understanding why some are reborn in fortunate states, others in suffering states based on their wholesome or unwholesome deeds. It's like seeing the whole karmic process unfold.
A truly cosmic perspective. And the final one, the ultimate goal.
The sixth, and the most important, is the destruction of the defilements, or asavas. This is it. This is realizing and directly experiencing, right here and now, unblemished liberation of mind and liberation by wisdom. It's about becoming an arahant, fully enlightened, free from the cycle of rebirth. And the text confirms, Vacchagotta achieves this state, arahantship, swiftly after receiving these instructions.
What an incredible journey for him. And that final scene where he sends word to Bhagavan.
Yeah, he sends a message saying he's well served, essentially indicating he's done it. But Bhagavan says, oh, I already knew. He knew through his own mind-reading abilities, and also the deities had already reported Vacchagotta's attainment.
It just underscores the certainty and, I guess, the cosmic significance of reaching that state, doesn't it? It's not just a private feeling. It's a recognized transformation.
Exactly. It shows how profound this realization is. It's a powerful end to his story in this particular text.
Right. So let's recap what we've pulled from this deep dive into the Mahāvacchagottasuttaṃ. First, there's this really clear, timeless ethical foundation, understanding greed, hatred, and delusion and their opposites as the roots of our actions. It's a solid framework for looking at ourselves. Second, that inspiring message that deep spiritual growth, even liberation, isn't just for a few specialists. It's accessible to many different kinds of people living different kinds of lives.
Mm-hmm. That universality is key.
And third, the sheer transformative power of practices like serenity and insight. The potential they unlock, these higher knowledges, points to, well, an amazing capacity within the human mind.
It really does. The Mahāvacchagottasuttaṃ maps out this incredible path of developing our inner world, leading to these profound abilities and insights. So here's a final thought, perhaps. In our world today, we're absolutely flooded with external information, always looking for answers in technology, data, outside ourselves. What does this ancient story suggest about where true comprehensive knowledge and freedom might actually come from? Is real mastery about controlling the world out there, or is it about understanding and ultimately mastering the world in here?